We're following two attacks in Afghanistan this hour. Afghan officials say a NATO missile strike has killed 17 civilians, including women and children. And they say that attack happened in southern Logar province and that all the victims were part of the same family. But ISAF only acknowledges that fighters were killed in the strike. Meanwhile, over in Kandahar, two Taliban fighters blew themselves up near a NATO base, killing at least 22 people. 4 local governors were meeting at the base, which is located at the main airport, and around 50 others were wounded. Let's bring in Qais Azmi. He's live for us in the Afghan capital, Kabul. Qais, first, let's begin with this NATO airstrike, and NATO saying that Taliban fighters were killed, but Afghan officials are saying they're all civilians.
Well, we are getting conflicting report on that. Afghan government officials are saying last night a group of Taliban, 7 Taliban, including one of their top commander, were invited for a dinner in one of the tribal elders' house, and then NATO and coalition forces got the information and they tried to do a night raid at the area. And after they surrounded this house, and they called on the Taliban in this house to surrender, and the Taliban refused to surrender, and instead they opened fire from the house, and then coalition and Afghan forces called for air support and bombed the house, which the Afghan provincial governor spokesman confirmed that 18 civilian and 7 Taliban commanders were killed in that house.
Right, Qais, and I was just mentioning there the attack that took place in Kandahar. Do you have any more information on that?
Well, this morning there is an area which is basically a waiting area for the truck driver. It's a small bazaar about 1 kilometer away from the main air base, NATO air base in Kandahar. A suicide bomber riding a motorbike detonated himself among those driver, and then short after a second suicide bomber detonated himself among those guys that they were Afghans that they were looking what happened in the area. So basically the Taliban took responsibility for those 2 suicide attacks, and it is their target. Taliban always saying that whoever is working for NATO or trying to get supply to NATO, they are our target. And in this attack, they killed 22 and injured 50 Afghans.
Right, Qais, and speaking of NATO, just a short while ago we heard that there was a helicopter crash, in fact, in the east of the country, a NATO helicopter crash. Any word on casualties and what actually was the cause of that crash?
NATO confirmed that they have lost 2 of their soldiers in this crash, and they say that the cause of this crash is under investigation. At the same time, Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid confirmed that attack on a helicopter in Kunar province, and they said they shot it down.
Qais Azmi reporting from the Afghan capital, Kabul. Thank you, Qais.